NBC, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN Plus. The Warriors host the Rockets for Game 4 at the Chase Center tonight. Golden State leads Houston 2-1 after defeating the Rockets 104-93 Saturday night. Steph Curry led Golden State with 36 points and 9 assists in the win, while on the other side, Jalen Green scored just 9 points in the Houston loss. All right, got our NBA crew back here with us. Stephen, I start with you. Did Houston blow their chance to win that series?
Yes, they did. Jimmy Butler was out. He wasn't playing because of that groin bruise, and I'm sorry, not the glute bruise, rather. He wasn't out. He was out because of that. And you are the Houston Rockets, and you have an opportunity to capitalize off of that, and you don't. I think they missed a prime opportunity to take this series back to Houston, tied 2-2. I think they lose in game 4. And they don't overcome a 3-1 deficit against Steph Curry and Draymond Green and the Golden State Warriors once Jimmy Butler gets back. The other thing that I'd like to say is this. To my man Jalen Green, young talent, no doubt about it. You do understand you're playing your way out of Houston, right? You do understand that. Because if I am the Houston Rockets and I watch you score 38 points in Game 2, I'm excited. But when I see you score like 7 points in Game 1 and 9 points in Game 3, that reminds me that you ain't that dude, even though you're very, very talented. And with me having Ime Udoka with the other pieces that I have around, I need somebody like a Kevin Durant. Yeah, he might be approaching 36, but he's one of the greatest players in the history of the game, arguably the greatest offensive player we've ever seen, who's still averaging 27 a game, who can close at any given moment. And on top of it all, you've got 2 of Phoenix's first-round picks that they'd love to have back. This is what you're doing if you're Jalen Green. Why would Houston, with all its promise, keep you at the expense of getting somebody of that magnitude if you're going to sit up there and score 7 points in one game and 9 points in another of a playoff series where you're the primary offensive weapon and you're desperately needed? So I hope he knows that. Go ahead, Wendy.
Yeah, obviously it was a huge missed opportunity. By the way, this has pretty much been the Jalen Green experience. There's times when he looks brilliant, like he's going to go to the Hall of Fame, and other times where he looks like he should be a sixth man. This is why the Rockets gave him a large value contract that was short, because even the Rockets aren't sure what his long term is going to be. This is who Jalen Green is. I do agree, Stephen A., that they missed an opportunity in losing on Saturday without Jimmy Butler, but I don't think this series is over at all. I think this series has been played at the Rockets' pace. The Warriors are averaging 15 points fewer per game in this series than they averaged during the regular season. That is an example of how the Rockets are playing at their game. Obviously, tonight, Jimmy is a huge factor. He is questionable. He has been working out, but that injury is significant. So we will see. If the Rockets can pull this game out tonight, we have a real series. If they don't, I do agree it's over. But I think the Rockets got one more shot here. And the thing we've seen about the Warriors, we think they can play at a high level, but we can't trust them. They're really only getting a high production offensively right now from Steph Curry. After that, you can't count on anybody.
Well, Wendy, that's not true. I mean, they won Game 3, yes, because Steph Curry was great and he took over in the fourth quarter. But let's not act like Gary Payton II and Buddy Hield ain't come off the bench and have 17 and 16 points. And this is one of these games
you can't trust that, Perk.
Oh, yeah, but what I'm saying is this is one of those series that the Golden State Warriors are going to have to go get in the trenches. And they're going to win this series, right? Because they have the mentality to go dig deep. You have a guy in Draymond Green who finally showed up in the second half of that game, who put the clamps on Alfred Sengun, who is the Rockets' best player. This was his worst game of the season. Here, in all fairness to Jalen Green and Stephen A., Wendy, I'm not disagreeing with you guys, for as he is auditioning right now to show the Rockets that he can be that dude to erase thoughts of them even trying to attempt to go get a Kevin Durant this offseason. But this is his first playoffs, right? That was his first playoff road game. And it's a difference, man, when you go on the road. It's just a big difference, right? You don't have the energy of the crowd to feed off of. It's you against the world. And you're going against a guy in Steph Curry who's already, in some people's eyes, in my eyes, he's a top 5 player of all time. We could discuss that at a later date. But he is the best player in that series, and you're asking this young man to go toe-to-toe with Steph Curry. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. There's too much experience over there. I'm glad Steve Kerr went away from Jonathan Kuminga in the second half because mentally he's gone. He has checked out. I don't believe he could come back at no time in this postseason. But the Golden State Warriors, they just have the more experience, and that's what's going to get them through. And I don't know, and I'm going to say this, I don't know why everybody is so surprised that the Rockets are not making shots at a high level. They were one of the worst shooting teams in the NBA this season. That has been their Achilles heel. They're going to defend. They're going to be dogs. They have the personnel. They have the culture setter in Ime Udoka. But far as shooting, that's not going to change. They're going to be inconsistent because they was one of the worst three-point shooting teams in the NBA this season. I think they ranked 25th.
Hard is balling. Rick Carlisle's one of the best coaches in basketball. He's got these brothers ready, and they just look like the better team in this series. They will beat Milwaukee. It is not coming back to Milwaukee for a Game 6. They are done, number one. Number two, my heart goes out to Dame.
Of course.
Love Dame. Always loved Dame time, and this is a devastating injury for him to be, at his age and having already missed significant time.
After defying the odds to come back from that blood clot.
Yeah, it's just sad. I'm so sad for him. My heart goes out to him. I hope he's going to be okay, and all the best to you, man. God bless, and just get yourself ready for next season or even after that. Just do whatever you can to get ready. And outside of that, Giannis, I think Giannis is going to think about departing from Milwaukee. I'm just speculating. I don't know. I've never spoken to him about it. But I can't imagine with his greatness, it's gotten to the point where it's wasting away in Milwaukee. With Dame there and now being out, I just don't. If you're Giannis, I have to believe you're thinking about your future. You've already delivered a championship to Milwaukee. You've carried the torch admirably, I might add. He's a warrior. I can't imagine him wanting to stay there. I could be wrong.
Maybe Miami, New York.
Yeah,
any other teams come to mind?
Yeah, both. Both those teams. More so Miami than New York, but I don't know if you got enough assets to get him in Miami.
All right, we got to leave it there.
Miami.
To hit at the top of the hour. Coming up here on First Take, LeBron and Anthony Edwards have a ESPN Deportes and ESPN Plus. The Warriors host the Rockets for Game 4 at the Chase Center tonight. Golden State leads Houston 2-1 after defeating the Rockets 104-93 Saturday night. Steph Curry led Golden State with 36 points and 9 assists in the win, while on the other side, Jalen Green scored just 9 points in the Houston loss. All right, got our NBA crew back here with us. Stephen A., starting with you. Did Houston blow their chance to win that series?
Yes, they did. Jimmy Butler was out. He wasn't playing because of that groin bruise, and I'm sorry, not the glute bruise, rather. He wasn't out. He was out because of that. And you are the Houston Rockets, and you have an opportunity to capitalize off of that, and you don't. I think they missed a prime opportunity to take this series back to Houston, tied 2-2. I think they lose in game 4. And they don't overcome a 3-1 deficit against Steph Curry and Draymond Green and the Golden State Warriors once Jimmy